Hey everyone, this is Phil, and in this video I'm going to be commentating over a sub 20 average I just did. And this sub 20 average was done with CFOP, which is not my main method. In fact, I can't say I have much dedicated practice or study with this method. So definitely not the strongest method in my bag of methods. But I thought it'd be interesting because, I thought to myself, like, at my level right now, I'm kind of, you know, just sub 20. And so, what I know is very similar to what a lot of other people know at my stage. So I thought it'd be interesting to record sub 20 average just to show you guys what it takes for me to be sub 20. Of course, not all of this advice will apply to you. And this is definitely not a complete list of things to do, but I do have three very important things I'd like to point out to help you guys. When I say you guys, I mean CFOP users get better times, especially if you are trying to break the sub 20 barrier. I think a lot of these pieces of advice will be useful. So before I start, I'd just like to point out what method I'm using. I know I said CFOP, but there are many, many different types of CFOP depending on how fast you are. Some people don't use full OLL, some people do other interesting things. I myself in this video don't use full OLL. I use 2-look OLL and 1-look PLL, and I do my F2Ls very, very plain. I don't think there's, there are any interesting algorithms that I use in this average. So it's very, very plain. I ignore COLL completely. If I get a U-perm, that's just because I'm lucky. And, no edge control, no exotic alg sets, nothing. So to get started, now that we know exactly what I'm doing in this video, I have 3 tips. Number 1 is always be aware of how you're ending your cross. I think this point is often overlooked. I like to divide cross endings in 2 different types. One is a D-face turn, and that also includes, in my opinion, small u and small u prime because they have the same kind of effect. And I'll explain that effect in a second. The second type is side face. So R, L, F, or B. That's another way to end the cross. And these are different because these last moves affect your pieces differently. So if you're going to end on a small u, say a slice turn, or if you're going to end on a D, your upper 2 layers are not going to move. So if I were to end my cross on a D, I'd be looking at the top layer because those pieces will be constant and they will not be moving around on me, so it'd be kind of easy for me to figure out where the pieces are. And by the same logic, if I end the cross with, say, an L move, I'm going to be looking more on the right face just to see the pieces that are not moving. And that's very important for me, and it's very convenient. I'm not sure how many other fast solvers actually do this. Maybe their eyes just automatically go to the places that don't move. But for me, I make a conscious effort to try to pin down the pieces that are static, and I think that really helps me. And of course, this rule won't apply for everything. It's just, a good rule of thumb. The second thing is to make sure you don't pause during OLL. And of course, saying no pausing is kind of a bare piece of advice, but it's especially important if you do 2-look OLL because you don't really have that many choices if you think about it. Once you solve your last pair, you either have a dot, a line, 2 edges next to each other, or a solved top cross already. So it doesn't take very much effort to figure out what first look you have, so you really shouldn't take too long to figure it out. And of course, once you reduce your OLL set to your top cross algs, that also shouldn't take very long because you run into these cases all the time and they're just very, very easy to differentiate. So that's another thing. And the last thing is to really use your inspection time. And that's really, really important in my opinion. I see a lot of people use 3 or 4 seconds of the inspection time and then they begin. I understand that, some people have rhythm and they like to start as soon as they have a plan, but I really think that more people should take their time and really get their heads into the solve. And there is one solver that I'd really like to mention that does this very well. His name is Andy Smith. He is a sub 10 solver. I'm pretty sure he's also sub 9. I was watching him last week and he was just excellent, and he spends at least 11-12 seconds during inspection every time, and he says that he can see a lot farther into the solve, instead of just figuring out the cross, he can locate the pieces and try to figure out the pieces that don't move. So I'll link his channel in the description for you guys to check out. He is a remarkable solver, and I think more people should, take some time to just check out what he's capable of, because he's certainly, he knows how to spend his time during the inspection. So to recap, those are the three things. Just be aware of how you're ending the cross. Watch out for OLL and make sure you don't pause too much, especially if you use multiple looks, and burn up that inspection time.